Purusha Shristi Stiti Pralayera Karta Nana Avatara Kore Jagater Bharta. Translation. We'll chant the last one responsibly if that's okay. Pralayera Karta. All right. Nana Avatara Kore. How did that happen?
Go ahead, please. I did some work in the background, but it's okay.
Oh, I see. Okay. I thought we'd chant the last one responsibly, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So then, can I read that translation?
Yes.
That Purusha, Karunadakshayi Vishnu, is the performer of creation, maintenance, and destruction. He manifests himself in many incarnations, or he is the maintainer of the world. Keep in mind that without looking, did you get the gist of that verse?
Yeah,
Anybody?
it says he's a maintainer of the world. That's that part.
Yeah.
It's clear
Maintainer. He's the creation,
to me.
maintainer and destroyer of the universes, and he manifests himself in many incarnations. Manifests himself in many incarnations. Okay, and who is that?
Lord Krishna.
Well,
Vishnu.
What's that?
Vishnu, specifically Vishnu.
Yeah, Karanadakshaya Vishnu.
Yeah.
Also known as Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu.
Yeah. Shishyadi nimitte je angshera avadhan sheta angshera kahi avatar nam. Translation. That fragment of the Supreme Lord, known as Mahapurusha, appears for the purpose of creation, maintenance, and annihilation, and is called an incarnation. Adyavatara Mahapurusha Bhagavan Sarva Avatara Bija Sarvashraya Dham. That Mahapurusha is identical with the personality of Godhead. He is the original incarnation. He is the original incarnation, the seed of all others, and the shelter of everything. Okay, this one we'll chant responsively. Adyovatara Purusha Parasya Kala Svabhava Sadasanmanascha Dravyam Vikara Guna Indriyani Virat Swarat Stasnu Chirishnu Bhumna Adyovatara Purusha Parasya Kala Svabhava Sadasanmanascha Dravyam Vikara Guna Indriyani Virat Swarat Stasnu Chirishnu Bhumna Adyovatara Purusha Parasya Kala Svabhava Sarasanmanascha Drabyam Vikaro Guna Indriyani Virat Swarat Stasnu Chirishnu Bhumna. Please chant.
Adyovatara Purusha Parasya Kala Swabhava Sadasan Manascha Dravyam Vikaro Guna Indriyani Virat Swarat Stanu Charishnu Bhumna. Hare Krishna.
आद्यो अवतारः पुरुषः परस्य कालः स्वभावः सद् असन्मनश्च द्रव्यं विकारो गुण इन्द्रियाणि विराट स्वराट स्थास्नु चरिष्णु भूम्नः. हरे कृष्ण.
Anyone else like to chant? Mother Anasuya usually chant. Are you busy today? Yes, she is. Okay.
She's not
Anyway.
home. Actually, she
Oh, I'm
probably.
driving, Prabhu. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, busy. Okay. I thought probably were, but I just wanted to check. Adya Avatara, the original incarnation. Purusha, Mahavishnu, Parasya, of the Supreme Lord. Kala, time. Swabhava, nature. Sat Asat, cause and effect. Mana Cha, as well as the mind. Dravyam, the five elements. Bikara, transformation of the false ego. Guna, modes of nature. Indriyani, senses. Virat, the universal form. Swarat, complete independence. Stashnu, immovable. Charishnu, movable. Bhumna, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation. The Purusha, Mahavishnu, is the primary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Time, nature, Prakriti as cause and effect, the mind, the material elements, false ego, the modes of nature, the senses, the universal form, complete independence, and the moving and non-moving beings appear subsequently as his opulences. Purport. Describing the incarnations and their symptoms, the Laghu Bhagavatamrita has stated that when Lord Krishna descends to conduct the creative affairs of the material manifestation, he is an avatar or incarnation. The two categories of avatars are empowered devotees and Tad Ekatmarup, the Lord himself. An example of Tad Ekatmarup is Shesha. And an example of a devotee is Vasudev, the father of Lord Krishna. Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan has commented that the material cosmic manifestation is a partial kingdom of God, where God must sometimes come to execute a specific function. The plenary portion of the Lord, through whom Lord Krishna executes such actions, is called Mahavishnu, who is the primal beginning of all incarnations. Inexperienced observers presume that the material energy provides both the cause and the elements of the cosmic manifestation, and that the living entities are the enjoyers of material nature. But the devotees of the Bhagavat school, which has scrutinizingly examined the entire situation, can understand that material nature can independently be neither the supplier of the material elements nor the cause of the material manifestation. Material nature gets the power to supply the material elements from the glance of the Supreme Purusha, Mahavishnu. And when empowered by him, she is called the cause of the material manifestation. This is good. And when empowered by him, she is called the cause of the material manifestation. Both features of material nature, as the cause of material creation and as the source of its elements, exist due to the glance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The various expansions of the Supreme Lord who act to empower the material nature are known as plenary expansions or incarnations. As illustrated by the example of many flames lit from one flame, all these plenary expansions and incarnations are as good as Vishnu himself. Nevertheless, because of their activities in controlling Maya, sometimes they are known as Mayik, or having a relationship with Maya. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd Canto, 6th chapter, 42nd verse. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Shayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shapandantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Before speaking, I would like to ask permission from all the devotees present, and particularly those who are senior by age and or advancement in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We're continuing our study and appreciation of Lord Nityananda Balaram. And in these recent verses that we're reading today, there's giving the author, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, is giving further information and details about the glories of a secondary expansion, not Lord Balaram himself in one sense, but a secondary expansion of Lord Balaram being Mahavishnu, also known as Karanodakshaya Vishnu. Karanodakshaya, Karana, because he lies down on the Karana ocean. And in this purport, Srila Prabhupada quotes from the Brahma Samhita, I don't know if you caught that, where he says that just like a candle can light other candles, and those other candles can have the same candle power as the original candle, but still there's an original candle. That's the way that Lord Brahma says we can understand the different expansions and incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Deeparchareva hi dashantaram abhyupetya deepayate vivitetu samana dharma yasthadrageva hi chavishnu taya vibhati govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. He offers his respectful obeisances to Govinda. You know the word Deepa. Deepa. What is Deepa? Come on. You sometimes celebrate Deepavali, you know?
Lamp.
Lamp,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
lamp. It's a light. Yeah. So there's one light. And that that light, one light can light many other lights. So this is a little bit baffling about the science of Godhead. On one hand, we say that there's one God. Ekala Ishwar Krishna Arshabritya. There's one supreme controller, and everybody else is servant. Ekala Ishwar Krishna Ashabritya. That's Lord Chaitanya said that. Or in Lord Brahma's words, Ishwara Param Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. There are many Ishwaras, but of all those Ishwaras, the Param Ishwara, the supreme controller among all controllers, is Krishna. He's also known as Govinda, and his eternal transcendental body. He's the controller of all controllers. So on one hand, we say there's one God, but then we say he has many manifestations. Again, in the Brahma Samhita, the words are there. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam. Advaitam, he is one. Achyutam, he is infallible. This is God. Anadi, he is beginningless. Anantarupam, but he has unlimited forms. Although he's one, he has unlimited forms. This seems like a paradox, but this is the philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Achintya Ved Aved Tattva. So here we're discussing in this verse the glories of Lord Nityananda Balaram, who is expanded and expanded as the first incarnation in the material world. You know, when I first read the 3rd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it was a little bit difficult. I don't know if it's the same thing happened for you, but it was a little bit difficult for me to wrap my mind around how Mahavishnu and Garbhadakshay Vishnus are incarnations. Probably because I had come the idea that an incarnation had to be some manifestation of the Lord on the earth planet. So you follow? But from the cosmic, multi-universal, and even behind that, the whole creation of the Lord, both spiritual and material, it makes perfect sense that the first original incarnation is Mahavishnu, because from him, the infinite universes, of which we are in one universe, and of which in that one universe, we're in a very tiny one planet. And on this tiny planet, we're in a very tiny space of that planet. This is unbelievable stuff. It's very difficult, but this is the greatness of God. Huh. So this Mahavishnu is therefore considered the original incarnation, because from him, all the universes are emanating, all the material universes. And by his glance, he impregnates them. He manufactures the elements of creation, and then he empowers the living entities, the Shakti, Maya Shakti, and the other living entities who are involved in creation. So this is also a little bit complex, and perhaps you can help me here. Because on one hand, we say that in this case, the Karanadaksha or Mahavishnu is described as the creator. But then you also hear of Brahma as the creator. And sometimes you hear that Maya is the creator. So how do you make those consistent or understand that? I'm asking. You get the question? Okay,
Prabhu,
Yeah.
Who would like to speak? Dear Krishna Prabhu, you're heightened here, I see.
Yeah, Prabhu, please, if you can repeat the question, sorry.
Yeah, I also would like a repetition.
Okay. Sometimes we hear that Lord Brahma is the creator.
Yeah.
Sometimes we hear that Maya is the creator. And here we're hearing that sometimes we hear that Garbhodakshay Vishnu is the creation, source of creation. And sometimes we hear that Krishna is the source of creation. Sometimes we hear that Mahavishnu here, we're focusing on Mahavishnu. So how is that? How can we make sense of all that?
Originally Krishna. So the original personality is Krishna. So sometimes just like a child does something, but the child does not have the money to do it. The parent gave the money, but the child did it. And so then the credit actually goes to the parent as the source of which the child was able to do it. So from that, it's a mundane example, true enough. But from that, then we can say that those who are in touch with the material energy as controllers, they have definitely a hand in the bringing about of the material energy. That's why
Thank you.
they
Thank
can
you.
get that kind of praise.
Dear Krishna Prabhu, you were going to say something or no?
Similar understanding, Prabhu. Just like I was covering the verse on last Friday. So Lord Anantshesh was mentioned as the first expansion of the Lord. Although if we see the chronology, it is from Sri Balram, then Sankarshan and all that, and then Anantshesh comes. But we can always say this correlated kind of.
Yeah, good. So there are these different, this is called the science of God, because we can study ourselves, we can study how the material nature works, but also try to understand with the mercy of Krishna how he is working both within the spiritual world and the material world. And we get a sense of that, even though we may not understand it completely. So Parikshit Prabhu gave the example of a child who gets money from their parent to do something.
That's a good example.
Similarly, if you think about, I don't know if anybody's ever had to build a house or anything like that, a temple. How many different persons or people are involved in the construction of a house? I'm asking.
A whole lot of people.
Like, give some examples.
The person that plans it, the engineer that designs, those that come to work on the foundation, and then the different people that do all of the framing, and then later on those who put the walls on there, those who do the electrical part. They're all different groups of people that making the house come.
Any other people? Any other people? These are good. Yeah, this is good. This is good. And that's just one little house and this one little planet. Right. So you've got, there's the person who wants the house built, right?
Yes.
And that person, the person who wants the house built. And then they got to get permission from the people who are the, say the city, right? So that they'll and then they'll hire an architect, and then there'll be an engineer, and then there's going to be a contractor, and there's different varieties of contractors, and then you got to go to the bank maybe to get a loan, right? All these different aspects of the creation, and you could call each one to a certain extent the creator, isn't it?
That's true.
Yeah, but ultimately, the original creator, the person that's the person behind everything, is the person who starts it off, the owner, right?
Yeah.
So in a similar way here, we find that Mahavishnu is a very important creator, and there's other creators as well, like Brahma is a secondary creator, like Maya. And in the purport, it was very nice to hear Srila Prabhupada explain that sometimes Maya is described as the creator of everything. But she's only creating because she's gotten empowered and glance of Mahavishnu. Therefore, she can be creative. She can deal with those material elements. So in that sense, she's also a secondary creator. You follow?
Yeah.
So if there's so many people, so many individuals involved in the creation of one tiny little house in Harrisburg, say, how, I mean, this whole expanse of the universe and the multitude of universes, Lord Krishna's got his whole team working and how to set it up so it works properly. And the person who's really the person in charge of all that is Nityananda Balaram. And who is Nityananda Balaram doing it? Under the direction of Krishna. Why does Mahavishnu bother to create this material universe? Just for his own enjoyment? For fun? He's doing it under the order of Lord Krishna, because Lord Krishna wants you and I to get a chance to redeem ourselves and to understand, hey, we cannot enjoy this material world even though we try very hard. We're exceedingly devoted to trying to satisfy the senses life after life. But even though we try to satisfy our senses very sincerely over many lifetimes, still we're never satisfied. And our senses are such cruel masters that even though we're not satisfied, they don't give us freedom. We're still slaves to those senses. So the devotee prays, let me give up my service to the senses and serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who's the master of the senses. That's called bhakti. Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam rishikesha rishikena sevanam bhakti ruchyate. That means that when we give up the service of the senses, but we give up all our designation, thinking that we are the master of these senses, that we are this body, but we use our senses to please the master of the senses. That's called bhakti. And that begins so nicely. Lord Chaitanya has made it so easy for us in the Kali Yuga that we can begin doing that just by regularly chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Even though we may not fully grasp all the details of how this creation is taking place and running, still, by the grace of Krishna, by chanting the holy names, over time, that awareness will become revealed to us as much as we can understand. So there's another aspect of these verses that I was thinking about, and that was that in these verses, Mahavishnu is described as the seed of all the incarnations and the source of all the incarnations. Did you pick that up? Yeah. Yeah, he's the seed of all the incarnations and the source of all the incarnations. So the question would be, in what way is he the seed of all incarnations? Usually you think of a seed as, a seed is there and it grows and it comes from this. All incarnations come from Mahavishnu. Would you say that?
Well, he's the beginning of the existence of the material world in the first place.
Okay, so then, but there is a spiritual world, and our understanding is that some of those incarnations, of course, there's all varieties of incarnations, but some of those incarnations descend from the spiritual world to the material world, right?
Yes.
So, for example, Lord Ramchandra has his planet in the spiritual world. So then, how do we understand that Lord Mahavishnu is the seed of all incarnations. You
But
follow the
Lord,
question?
yeah, the Lord has the freedom, the free will to appear the way He wants to appear. We can say the same, put the same argument to the way Lord Varaha appeared. He appeared from Lord Brahma, and Brahma is a jiva. But the Lord came from him anyway. So that's based on his supreme will when he wants to come and how he wants to come.
So, Lord, you're giving the example of Lord Varaha coming out of the
Nose
nose
of
of Lord
Brahma.
Brahma.
Mhm.
So it's not that Lord Brahma created Varaha. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So does that mean that Lord Varaha already existed?
The
Someplace.
expansions of the Lord, that I
Okay.
can't say because
So
the Lord comes based on this is a particular Lila avatar comes, that he came out of. He came in that way. So Sri Prabhupada said the Lord is really not a bore, but he will come for a particular purpose in a particular form. He can change form whenever he likes.
yes.
So that's still the
So
original personality of
is
Godhead doing that.
Mahavishnu is the seed of that Lord Varaha?
Lord Varaha is spiritual. Mahavishnu is the seed of those who are in the material world. From him, the material world comes to be. So I think that is a distinct situation.
Okay. So
We can't put it on that. No.
when we say that Lord Mahavishnu is the seed of all incarnations, we're saying that he's not the seed of those that are in the spiritual world, you're saying? Or like Varaha?
Not the seed of those in the spiritual world. This is
Okay.
I mean, again, this is over my as other people like to say, over my pay grade. So we're just trying to make
Yeah,
sense of.
I'm just putting it out there because to understand this is a little tough. It's a little
Yeah,
tough. And
yeah, definitely.
some devotees would say that, Mahavishnu is the channel or the incarnations as they descend from avatar means one who descends. So from
Hmm.
the spiritual world to the material world. So, a channel comes from another place, like it's not like if you go to you're coming from India and you come back to say JFK Airport, they have immigration check channels. They call them channels, right? Which is just a place you go through. You don't, you don't immigrate right there, but they check you. Or a channel as a part of a body of water, part of a river that goes through say a mountain range. There's a channel that goes through, but here it doesn't say channel. It says Krishnadas Kaviraj is saying seed, which is a little bit different. And of course, there are many different kinds of incarnations. There's the Purusha incarnations, which are describing. Then there's the Manvantara incarnations,
Hmm.
the Manus. Then there's the Guna incarnations, the
Hmm.
uh, qualitative incarnations like Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva. So, yeah, it's a little tricky to try to understand and to, because this is all on a very transcendental level. And
Sometimes,
then,
actually, sorry.
go ahead.
Sometimes these words are used rather loosely. I've seen that sometimes reading, general statements are made like that. And maybe if we just try to get very specific definitions from it, then we run into trouble.
Well,
Sometimes that can happen.
it says there. It says here that says he's the seed, and then later it says he's all the incarnations manifest from him.
Mm.
They manifest. I mean, that manifests from him. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the first canto, third chapter, where there's all the incarnations are mentioned.
Mm.
And it's interesting that in this class we're having simultaneously class on the scheduled incarnations of specific functions, right? So
Yes.
simultaneously, yeah. So there it also says that the Lord Vishnu is all the incarnations are expansions from him. Is that interesting?
That's
Okay.
why some people think that Krishna is an expansion of Lord Vishnu.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes people say that Lord Vishnu, seventh expansion is Krishna.
Mhm.
Yeah. So exactly how they're working as an expansion of Vishnu, it's hard to say. I don't know. That's something for we can read about. We could read about it in this. There's a first canto, third chapter, second verse. First canto, third chapter, fifth verse describes these ways that the Lord Vishnu expands as the incarnations. And but what is our takeaway? What is the title of the first canto, third chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam?
No, I don't, not off the top of my head.
Krishna is the source of all
Of all
incarnations.
incarnations, yeah.
Right. So Krishna is the source. With all this other stuff going on, yes, Mahavishnu is there, Garbhodakshay Vishnu is there, Kshirodakshay Vishnu is there, but Krishna is a source beyond all those. And the important, the culminating verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam in that chapter, after describing all the different incarnations for both Swamsa and Shakti-avesh incarnations, there's the verse Ete Chanksa Kala Pumsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Ete, all these Angsha are portions, or Kala. Angsha and Kala are two different words. Angsha means a portion, and Kala means a portion of a portion. Ete Chanksa Kala Pumsam. All these incarnations are either portions or portions of a portion, but Krishna stu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna himself is the original personality of Godhead himself. Indradi Vyakulam Lokam Midyanti Yuge Yuge. And he comes himself also, completely independent of all the other uh, kinds of incarnations. He's not dependent on any other being or incarnation to appear. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Mata parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mayi sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. There is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me like pearls rest on a thread. So this understanding of Krishna being the source of all incarnations, and simultaneously we're reading here that Lord Nityananda Balaram is from him there's expansions, and one of those expansions is Mahavishnu, and he's creating the whole material manifestation. That's all coming from Krishna. So then, I don't know, Parikshit Prabhu, I sent you a link to a bhajan in your, maybe you could take a look quickly.
Sure. Do you want me to?
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
Play it? Okay.
No, it's a bhajan by Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
When did you send it? Did you send it?
Just before the class.
Oh, okay. All right.
There it is.
I see. Yeah, but my computer is a little crazy, so I have to enter twice. But I'll get back. I'll get to it. Now it will open.
Okay.
Okay, Bhajan.
There. There.
Oops. Oh,
this
okay.
Is,
so it's a different Bhajan.
This is a prayer by Bhaktivinoda Thakur that focuses on what we were just talking about. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, as you know, is the grand spiritual master of the father of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's, Srila Prabhupada's guru. And it goes, Tumi Sarveshwareshwara, Brajendra Kumar, Tomar Ichaya Vishve, Srijan Sanghar. So that means you, you, Brajendra Kumar, the youthful son of Lord Nanda Maharaj, and the son of Raj, are the controller of all controllers. Sarveshwareshwara. Ishvara means controller, and Sarveshwareshwara, you're the controller of all controllers. Brajendra Kumar means Krishna. Tomar Ichaya, by your wish, Vishve, the whole universe, Srijan, is created, Sanghar, is destroyed. Tava Icha Mata Brahma, by your wish, Brahma, Korina Srijan, he creates. Tava Icha Mata Vishnu, Korine Palam, and by your wish, Vishnu maintains. Tava Icha Mata Shiva, Korine Sanghar, and by your wish, Lord Shiva destroys. Tava Icha Mata Maya, Srije Karagar, and by your wish, Maya creates this. Karagar means prison house. All these are happening. Why? By Krishna's wish. Tava ichamata jiva janama maran. And by your wish, the jivas, that's us, are taking birth and dying. Samriddhi nipata dukkha sukha sangatang, meeting happiness and distress in their various conditions of life. Mitche maya baddha jiva asha pashe pire. Tava ichabina kichu korite napare. By your wish, the jivas, by their false happiness, are bound up by maya and illusion. And without your wish, we can't do anything. Tumita rakaka ar palaka amar. You are my main protector and maintainer. Tomar charana bina asha nahiya. And by without your lotus feet, I have nothing. Nija bala cheshta prati bharashacharya. I have my own strength and consciousness is very small. Tomar ichaya achi nirbhara kariya. I'm by your wish I am living. Bhaktivinodati dina kinchan. I am very fallen. Tomar ichaya tar jivana maran. By your wish I'm living and dying. It's a nice prayer by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I don't know if you've heard this one before. Have you seen this one before?
No. Is there a tune to it?
Yeah. Let me chant the first two lines anyway. So it'll be a little too long for this because we don't have that much time. But I'll sing it. You sing it because it's along the lines of what we're talking about today. I thought it was quite a nice budget.
What's it called anyway?
Yeah, the same link. It's the same link. Tumi Sarveshwareshwara. Tumi Sarveshwareshwara. Brajendra Kumar, Tomar Ichaya Vishve Srijan Sanghar. Tumi Sarveshwareshwara, Brajendra Kumar, Tomar Ichaya Vishve Srijan Sanghar. You got that? Tumi Sarveshwareshwara, Brajendra Kumar, Tomar Ichaya Vishve Srijan Sanghar. Tava Icha Mata Brahma, Korena Srijanna. Tava Icha Mata Brahma, Korena Srijanna. Tava Icha Mata Vishnu, Korena Palan. Tava Icha Mata Vishnu, Korena Palan. Like that. Anyway. We learned this prayer way back in 1975.
Let's see.
When they had the Vaishnav songbook. But it encapsulates where we're going here. Lord Chaitanya is no ordinary personality. It is the supreme personality of Godhead. And his first expansion, and then the expansion of that expansion is the creator of the whole universe. And by his wish, everything is taking place. Creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for a very, very nice lecture, insightful, and caused us to think quite a few things. Actually, the Lord is limitless. You can't always explain things about him.
That's right. That's right.
So
it's tricky.
Although it was wonderful, it still shows that the Lord is at a level nobody can ever even try to fathom. So, if you have any questions, have another 5 minutes. Comments, please unmute yourself and join in the Krishna Katha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances.
Yeah.
All glories to Srila Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for once again, thought-provoking session. So while you were describing all these incarnations and um, manifestations, how Mahavishnu creates everything, I was thinking such a complex process, and Krishna is completely detached and having fun in Goloka. So how can we invite the same mood that we perform our duties, our services with um, full intensity, but remain unattached like Krishna?
How?
How can we can keep performing our duties and our services and still remain unattached or detached like Krishna?
Uh, we have to be as in this prayer which says we have to be at the lotus feet of Krishna, understanding and really have appreciation that we'll do the best we can, but ultimately the results, that's up to Krishna. And that's our practice. So we want to be the controller of the results, usually. I do anyway. So being regularly reminded by chanting Hare Krishna and coming to the Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam class, we can be reminded that everything is coming, the results are always coming arranged by Krishna and his system. And in that way, we can become detached, I think. Do you have any ideas?
No, Prabhu, I mean, I'm the same boat, trying to control things or forget that who is the real controller. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's the same. Like you said, it's a reminder. There is no other way. We need to keep reminding ourselves or get reminded by someone that I'm not the controller.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
And when we have the opportunity to have association with devotees who have that clear realization that that's the fact and seeing how they act, oh, that's very enlightening. So uh, studying how great devotees like Prahlad Maharaj and, he was tortured, but some he left it up to Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada, how he did his activities by meditating and thinking about those things, it inspires us to get a little bit, it'll go a little bit in that direction. At least that's mine. What do you think, Parikshit Prabhu?
The thought came to my mind of Hare Krishna, just accept on the basis as well as Srila Prabhupada. The thought came to my mind as you were speaking as to how Prahlad Maharaj left it up to Krishna. I thought about Ambarish Maharaj immediately.
Yeah,
When
yeah. Good.
Durvas Muni appeared before him later on and got angry with him and dashed one of his hair on the ground, and this big demon came. Ambarish Maharaj said, if I'm to die from the demon, so be it, by Krishna's will. And if Krishna doesn't want me to die, what can this demon do to me? That was his first thought.
Good example. Good example. Good example.
And Krishna decided what happened. And Ambarish Maharaj was the one that took the he had to learn his lesson. Hare Krishna, put it that way.
Yeah. I've got one that's a little tricky for the audience here. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, we know the pastime where Parikshit Maharaj gets, you know this, Parikshit Prabhu, that Parikshit Maharaj gets cursed by
Yes.
the son of Shamak Rishi.
Shringi.
And he goes, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, he goes to the bank of the, what is that?
Well, Ganga or Jamuna, but that's debatable.
Jiva Goswami says the Jamuna, right?
Jamuna, yeah.
Yeah. And he gives up his whole kingdom, everything like that. Interestingly, in some versions of the Mahabharata, there's a whole fort that's built to protect Maharaj Parikshit from the snake bird. Do you know that?
No,
Yeah.
I never read Mahabharata, so this is new to me.
Anyway, Srila Prabhupada wanted Mahabharata translated, and Sridananda Maharaj began that and did quite a bit of translation work. But anyway, the beginning of Mahabharata is that dealing with the Mahabharata is that there's different versions, and it's not, even at the time of Madhvacharya, it was not, there were many different versions.
Yeah,
But, you know,
that's true. Mm.
I would say, and I'm putting forward this as completely, it's not supported by any Shastra in terms of direct Shastra.
Mm.
Because I've asked this question to many devotees and my senior godbrothers and peers and everything. I haven't really gotten an answer. That some people say, well, that's the Mahabharata and it's been changed and blah, blah, blah. Okay, maybe. Yeah, okay. But practically every version you see, it's the same. But I was thinking, here, think about this. And with this idea of we accept whatever Krishna does. Just like when, if a big politician, no, they don't necessarily protect themselves. They have a whole apparatus that protects them, right? There's a secret service and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Parikshit Maharaj was certainly beloved by all the people of the world. We read he was a great king. He treated the subjects just like a father treats the children. So he's beloved. So hearing that his death was imminent, certainly his people could have built a fort for him. You follow?
Yeah, it's conceivable.
But
Definitely.
but he didn't take it. You follow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that makes sense to me, although I won't find it anywhere. There's certain parts of the Mahabharata that fit very nicely with Srimad Bhagavatam, and some it's a little tricky. But the point
Yeah.
is that dear Krishna Prabhu was making is, yeah, how can we accept and become detached from being the controller? And that's our as we make progress in Krishna consciousness, that's hopefully one of the symptoms of making progress as we begin to understand that Krishna is really controlling everything.
Srila Prabhupada said this particular sloka so many times. Prakriti kriyamanani guneka manisa ahankara vimudatma katahamiti manyate. And I
Yes.
always bang my head about it. You remember? You're not the doer. The person thinks we the ones that do, but actually Krishna is working us through material nature.
Yeah.
That's what's really happening.
The Muslims always say, God willing, God willing.
Yeah, inshallah.
Yeah. And we can also say, Krishna willing, sure, Krishna willing, everything's Krishna's will. And his will, by his will, the universe is created. Mahavishnu, that's it. Mahavishnu serves Krishna by creating the material world. That's a service. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Any other comments, questions? Okay, we passed the hour now. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for being on in this discussion in so much variety. We got to sing a song, that even to, again, connect with the Lord's incarnations in creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Thank you very
Sometimes
much.
I like, there are many bhajans that Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Narottam Das Thakur, and we could become more familiar with those because those those bhajans are, Prabhupada said, are as good as the Vedas. And one aspect of bhajans is you're praying. Sometimes when the Hare Krishna mantra is also prayer, but sometimes we forget. We're just it's names. But by praying, then it brings out that wish of doing service and making progress in Krishna consciousness in that way. Anyway,
Right. Thank
Hare
you very
Krishna.
much.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Jai.
Panchakalpatarubhyascha
Kalpatarubhyascha
kripasinibhyeva cha
kripasindhivya
patitanam
cha
pavanebhyo
patitanam pavanebhyo.
Vaishnavebhyo namo. Thank you, Parikshit Prabhu.
Hare
Haribol.
Krishna. Jai. Go to Prabhupada. Jai. Thank you, little Willies. Hare Krishna.